My name is Mike Herdzen. I'm a golf course architect from Columbus, Ohio. I represent the firm Herdzen Golf Design, and we have done probably about 400 golf courses over about a 45-year period, and we're very pleased to be here at Ottawa Hunt and Golf. First hole really needs to set the mood for the golf course, and to set the mood and a tone. And so it's a par 5 hole. It's a little bit shorter than it was previously, but we think that we've added more strategy into it. So it's a good 2-shot hole for a very, very good player. For an average player, it's an average 3-shot hole, but it's the green and its surrounds, it's up a little bit high, that makes the hole really exciting. It's that shot into the green that's going to make the difference on this hole. The second hole is a par 4 that's just a little bit longer than it was previously. And on this hole, it really is to try to hit a good drive. To hit the drive out to the bunkers or as close as you can out to the bunkers to leave as short a shot as possible. Most of the green's pretty much wide open. You can just play it from the front and 2-putt for your par. The third hole was a lot of people's favorite hole, and we didn't want to lose that feeling of that hole very much. And so it's relatively the same hole with the green built a little bit lower. It's a dogleg right. We put a huge, ugly bunker out on the inside of the dogleg. There's some taller fescues that are going to the right of that. If people play it as a dogleg hole, it's going to be very, very enjoyable. But like all of these greens, there's a few places where we can locate the hole that will make a very, very difficult approach. The fourth hole is a brand new hole out of nowhere, so to speak. It's a par 3 that plays up on top of the hill, down across the lake to a new green that was built also in a wooded area that was unused. So this hole is the wow hole. You come up over the hill from the 3rd green, get to that 4th tee, and I think most people will say, oh wow. They might say something else too, but most of the time we hope to say, oh wow. The 5th hole was, for the most part, everybody's favorite. Everybody didn't really want to change the 5th hole, which is now the driving range, because they felt that that was really the spirit of the West 9 at Ottawa Hunt. So this 5th hole really is a reflection then of trying to duplicate the drama, the difficulty, the elements that the old hole had. And again, this hole really relies on hitting a strong drive, and then it's a bit of a blind shot. You have to trust yourself playing that shot into the green. It's hidden by a bunker on the left and a little bunker that comes in from the right side that makes it exciting. So you got to pull the trigger and wait and see what you hit. The 6th hole probably was as close to the Willey Park original as existed on the golf course. The tee and the green were relatively in the same position. Some of the old bunkering was where perhaps Willey Park would have left it. I wasn't around when Willey was, but it looks like the kind of thing that would be done back in the Woodshaft Club era. And so we wanted to keep that same spirit. We moved the green back a little bit. We moved the bunkers a little bit closer to the green. So we really challenged the better player, and we really don't punish the average to weaker player as it was before. So the 6th is a nice par 3 that has a lot of good hole locations on it, but yet I think it plays a lot friendlier. The 7th hole, being a par 4, is on the short side, and it's kind of a narrow little place where the green had to fit between the 9th tee and the woods on the right. And we wanted a green that was long and thin and would require really an accurate second shot. So the average player or the better player can hit the drive pretty much with impunity, but when it comes to playing in that second shot, got to be a little bit more careful. Smart play is always to the center of the green. Eighth hole went from being a long par 3 to all of a sudden becoming a very short par 3. So we wanted it short and difficult. So the green is pretty much surrounded by bunkers. It looks pretty benign from the tee, maybe not, but it's a lot more benign from the tee than it is when you're standing on the green, because the green has a lot of character and undulation to it. So it's a matter of not just hitting the green if you're trying to make a birdie on a very short par 3, it's hitting it close, and you got to know where to aim the ball and where the ball is going to end up. I think this is a hole that as members play it more often, they'll learn its personality and they'll know how to play it. So local knowledge will prevail. Number 9 was always a nice finish hole, a longish par 5. By shortening the 8th hole, we have the facility now to build a back tee on 9 at some point if the club were to choose to do that, and make it an extraordinarily long par 5. But even from the tees as it is now, which are the old tees, the hole still plays to a new green that has been, the bunkers have been more closely integrated to the putting surface. The hole locations, the tough hole locations are back left, but it'll be a fun kind of a par 5 hole just about for everybody. The driving force in the plan that we see at Ottawa Hunt and Golf today was correcting a too small of driving range. The great discriminator among top clubs in North America is the quality of the learning center and a practice facility. And quite frankly, Ottawa was falling behind. So what we have done is to move the first hole to where the practice range used to be, and we moved the practice range to where the 5th hole used to be. And so we believe that we've dramatically improved both. Now we have a huge wide grass tee, which we didn't have before. We have very clearly marked target greens and a target fairway, and you just walk out of the front door of the clubhouse and it's another oh wow moment. It's pretty spectacular.